Hi, my Galter friends. I am in my kitchen during the settle in place here and was getting some dinner ready for tonight, and I thought I would share some meal ideas with you, maybe some products that I like to use, just to keep us all a little bit entertained and eating healthy during this stressful time. So I didn't think to do this last night, but last night I made a lasagna, and I'm gonna flip it over and show you that. This is cold from the fridge because I cooked it last night, but this is my lasagna. Really easy to make. I've just got some of my favorite products here to use that I use to make lasagna. These whole wheat, no boil lasagna noodles are my favorite. Mariano's used to carry them, but now I have to order them on Amazon. I get them in a pack of 6 because they don't carry them anymore. But yeah, 100% whole wheat, which we know is good, nutritionally speaking. It's got some good fiber in there, 5 grams of fiber per serving. And you don't have to boil them at all. They're pretty thin noodles. I lay 4 down on the bottom of the pan. I make my lasagna with ground turkey. So I browned that. I dumped in some marinara sauce. I like a roasted garlic flavor. This is one brand that I do like, so this is the one that I used last night. Layer that on the noodles with the sauce in it and the meat, and then I use I prefer cottage cheese in my lasagna to ricotta. So I use a 2% milk fat cottage cheese, put some of that on there, and then I do a 2% mozzarella cheese, and then I sprinkle a little Parmesan, and then I do that layer again 2 more times. And I bake for about 30 minutes at 350, and there you have it. We served it last night. We just did some steamed veggies, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots. Kept it easy on the side there after making lasagna. So what I am doing today is I put 3.5, actually it's like 3.75, I think, pounds of chicken breast in my crock pot here. And I am going to make a shredded chicken taco meat. So that's a lot of meat. There's 4 people in my family, but we will probably use it for tacos or quesadillas tonight. And then I'm going to show you some other things that I can do with some of the leftovers too. So this recipe originated from this Weelicious cookbook here. In this cookbook or on her website, weelicious.com, it's actually a pulled pork crock pot taco. But I'm doing it with chicken today. And these are the ingredients that you need. I make these things a lot, so I've got really big spice jars here from Costco. But to make the rub that I'm gonna put on that chicken, these are what I use. So it's 1 tablespoon of cumin. It calls for 1 tablespoon of kosher salt, although I always go a little bit less because I usually try to take it easy on the sodium. And then a teaspoon of everything else. Teaspoon of onion powder, teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of chili powder, and a teaspoon of paprika. So I measured those out. So these 2 ingredients were a tablespoon, a little lighter on the salt. The other 5 are all a teaspoon. Put it in a bowl together, and I mixed it all up. All right, so far so easy, right? Now I'm gonna take this and just put it all over the chicken. All right, so I'm gonna dump that on, and then I'm gonna grab a fork and I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. And then I have got 1 jar of salsa. Okay, so this is a 15.5, 16 ounce jar of salsa. Austin, look in there so you make sure you can see me, okay? And then I'm just gonna pour this all around the outside. You guys, that is it. Okay, this is gonna be really good taco meat. I'm gonna put this on crock pot, put it on low, and it's gonna cook most of the day. It's 11:30 right now, so we should be perfect for dinner time tonight. I'm gonna check back when this is done and show you what to do with it. All right, we'll be back. So our chicken is done. It's been in the crock pot for about 7 hours, which is probably more than we needed. So if you look here now, I have not touched it since earlier this morning. The spices are sitting on top. It's liquefied because of the salsa. But I'm just gonna take this chicken and pull it apart. You'll see it pulls really, really easily. You basically can just stir it all in there. So we've got some shredded chicken. I turned the crock pot off. It'll stay warm in here for a little bit. But as I shred it, I'm gonna leave it there then for a few minutes, and it will thicken up a little bit here. And then you can use it for tacos, quesadillas. You can put it in enchiladas. You could save the meat and put it like on a taco salad. You can do whatever you want with it. Tonight am going to make some quesadillas with it, so I will show you that. And then I think I'm going to take some of the leftover meat and make some taquitos that will roll up and put in the freezer for lunches during this homeschooling loveliness that we have going on everywhere. So, all right, look at that. Super easy. Tons of chicken in here. Like I said, it's almost 4 pounds, over 3.5 pounds of chicken. So we'll be back in a moment when we are going to get the quesadillas ready to go. It's time to put the quesadilla ingredients together. We did our chicken. I am going to put some olive oil in the pan and saute some veggies. This is most likely for my husband and myself. For our quesadillas, my kids will eat vegetables, but this is sitting here for them. That is how they will eat it. But I'm going to put in here, I just did a little olive oil. I'm going to throw in some mushrooms. So I rinsed those mushrooms. I bought them already cut. We're going to have to let the heat get going here. I am putting in, I love to buy already frozen peppers, either diced or these are sliced. And I keep frozen chopped onions on hand too. So it saves me a little time. I just have to open them from the bag and pour them in the pan when I need them. So I'm going to make some veggies to go in these quesadillas. And we will obviously add our chicken as well. So onions, green peppers, mushrooms makes for a good veggie base to add to the chicken for our quesadillas. My veggies are done sauteing, and I just realized I should turn off the TV. So I've got my veggies. I did add about a half to a teaspoon of minced garlic. I didn't do that right away because it'll burn if you do it too long, but I did add that as these were finishing. Now in this pan, I am doing my tortillas, and I buy these tortillas from Costco. There's a whole slew of them, and they're actually raw. Very basic ingredients. This is one of my exceptions to, whole grains. These are not whole grain, but the ingredient list is really simple. It's like wheat flour, water, there's like salt, there's just very few ingredients, but you warm them in a pan. So they're pretty much dough when you get them, and then you toss them in a pan to heat them, okay? So I'm heating my tortillas. Then I'm going to do my assembly, my chicken, my veggies, my cheese, and make the quesadilla. And I'll do my kids with just the chicken and cheese, and they'll eat their veggies on the side. Oh, and there's the Modelo you can have if you'd like to enjoy while you're cooking your dinner. So that's what we got, and show you the finished product. Chicken and cheese here for the kids. You got to turn the heat down low once you're done actually cooking the tortilla, and you just want it to warm and melt the cheese. Otherwise this tortilla will burn. But I'm gonna do a few minutes on each side. I just loaded up the cheese and chicken, fold it over. In a couple minutes, I'm gonna flip it over. Well, actually in a few seconds. That was getting pretty melty already. So I just used some shredded Colby Jack. We always buy 2% cheese here. This happens to be Roundy's, but whatever. It's the cheaper one where I shop. So that's what we got. And then we just have to assemble the one with veggies. Sorry, I'm a little wobbly when I do this myself. We've got some cut up cilantro to go on top, and we've also got some guacamole to add to it. All right, I'm finishing up. I'm gonna make the veggie fajita here. This one's going to be bigger because it's for myself. Actually, this one's for my husband. So I'm putting the cheese down. The tortilla is just about done. I'm going to turn that heat down a little bit. So I want that cheese to melt. And I'm going to put the meat on there too. Kind of spread that out. So far it's just like the kids' version. And I should add, if you want to make this vegetarian, obviously you skip that whole first part of this video where you're doing the chicken. You could do this with black beans. You could do it with refried black beans. I'm going to throw my veggies right on top. They should be warm already, so really at this point, the chicken's warm too. We just want that cheese to melt. So I'm not planning on flipping this guy. I gotta save some veggies for me. Look how much those veggies cooked down though. I feel like I should have done some more, but you can always add more. And then this, I already cooked this tortilla, so I'm gonna put it on top to melt. Give it a couple, maybe a minute on a low heat for that cheese to melt. And we're about ready to eat. Hey guys, dinner is served. We usually take our little pizza cutter wheel here. Great Menards purchase. And cut your quesadillas. We know that half of your plate is supposed to be vegetables, fruits or vegetables, as you have your meal. But our quesadilla is loaded with veggies, and we got some more on the side. Enjoy. Next, I'm going to show you what we can do with some more of that chicken to make those taquitos. Let's use some more of this chicken that we did in our, Austin, you want to help me with? That we made in our crock pot. I have these corn tortillas. They're like 40 cents at the store. 50 calories a piece. Love the ingredients: corn, water, and lime. That is it. So these are a little stiff when you first buy them. So I took this paper towel and wet it and wrung it out, and then wrapped it around 2 at a time and microwave it for 20 seconds. Then they get warm and they soften up, and they're easy to roll up then. So I need to spray my pan. I'm going to take one of the warm, softened tortillas, and I'm going to put a little bit of the chicken mixture in it. Now this chicken, remember, we already seasoned. If you had some chicken in here that maybe you just cooked in some broth, you could still shred it, use it for multiple purposes, and you can find a recipe easy for a taquito and just mix some seasonings in with it. But I'm just going to take the taco, the chicken taco meat that we already had. I'm going to add a little bit of cheese. I probably should have centered this over to this, scooted it to the side a little more, and then roll it up as tight as you can. This would not work if you use the tortilla right from the package. So you get it nice and tight. Put it seam side down. All right, we're going to fill the tray. Make as many as you want. Then when you have the whole tray, you spray on top again. Just that little bit of oil on the top is going to make it nice and crispy, and you bake it for 400 degrees for 15 minutes. All right, you guys, these taquitos are done. I said the wrong temperature. It was 425, not 400. I cooked them for about 15 minutes. They're nice and crispy now, so I'm gonna let these cool. And once they're totally cool, I'm gonna freeze them in a Ziploc freezer bag, and then we can thaw them and nuke them as we need. If my kids were still in school, I would send a couple of them in their lunchbox. They actually don't mind eating them cold, and I send those little 100-calorie packs of guac, the little individual size, with them. But we'll have these to enjoy for quick lunches while we're homeschooling. And I want to show you here how much meat we still have left. So this is from still what we have in the crock pot. My kids were happy with dinner tonight, so they asked if we could have quesadillas again for lunch tomorrow. And but if you don't do anything else with this, you're probably going to get bored of chicken. So we could freeze it just like that. We can save it for salads, for quesadillas. So do whatever you like. I would consider also maybe making a pan of chicken enchiladas and freezing that for another time. So lots of good food left here. Also, a quick note on the taquitos. I've made them before vegetarian. I used a black bean, actually refried black beans, which are fat-free. It's literally just pureed black beans. And I dumped in a can of diced green chilies, mixed it up, added some, just had that instead of the chicken, added the cheese and rolled them up just this way. The black beans kind of started to ooze out a little bit, but I just shoved it back in with the fork. So I hope everybody is staying well and healthy and keeping your distance from everybody, and check back with me soon.